Moses saying, me, so yes, and I may count.
No. Because I see you stars.
Okay.
Because I finished project into just maybe I see a bit to me for truth said you're going to be an young Casaya for food and they are trying the year. Or no so.
So what do you think?
Okay, I agree with Mike. Well, you build everything from scratch.
From scratch, yeah.
Exactly.
I think so it makes sense. So let's build everything from scratch. I think I can open another window. So this one will be our reference point.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's create a new one inside the JavaScript. Let's create a folder inside our JavaScript. Okay. Right from this one. Let's create a folder here inside our JavaScript giving grammar, right? So let's call it what, countdown, right?
Yeah.
Countdown. Okay.
Who say you 30 minutes?
Yeah.
We did yati. That's one of our end, why? Timekeeper.
Okay, so let's go into that folder. I think it's in the desktop, right?
Okay.
So let's go to that folder, new file. Okay. Open a folder. I think the folder is at the desktop. JavaScript something. Where is it? JavaScript grammar. Then countdown, right?
Yes.
Let's open the folder and empty. Okay. All right. So we have an empty folder, so we need to create our files. Okay, new file. Index, right? .html. That'll be the first file. Okay. Then you remember, what do I do to get a basic HTML? Doc. So you can just put the doc. Then that's it. We have the basics, right? Okay. So let's create another file for the styling, right? So styles, right? Styles.css, right? Okay, then the last one will be for, what will be the last file? What will be the last file?
Is Java.
So script. You can give it any name.
Yeah.
.js. Right. So we have these three files. So before these three files can communicate, we need to link them together. So how do we link them? We link them from here. Let's give it a title of countdown, right? Countdown. Title of countdown. Okay. Then where do we link our style sheet? Inside the header, right? Inside the header. Yeah, inside the header. So you bring your link and to say ref style sheet, then what? The style sheet. You bring the style sheet. Understand? Automatically it's linked. Okay. So where do we link our JavaScript? Down there, right? You can link it here.
And the bottom. Yeah. After the body.
That's right. So you bring your script. And inside the script, you go there and put what? Source. Okay, once you have the source, then you bring the name of you go to the source / you see your script. Okay. So now everything is linked. Okay. I think from here, I think it's good.
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
So everything is going to happen inside the body. So let me bring it down so that you understand. Inside the body, everything is going to happen over there, right? Okay. So let's check the previous one, the one I did. Center project. Yes. I can't tell myself on the theory.
Yeah.
Remain 9 something minutes. Okay. Fine. So let's look at what I did. Okay. So inside the body, I just created another one called main. Okay. So we can also create what we have main. Okay. You know, you're supposed to close it. Okay. And I did not give any class name to the main. Normally, you're supposed to give it a class name so that we can use the class name in CSS. You understand?
Okay. So main two is like an element.
Exactly, it's like an element. But I just give it a name, main. It's an element, one of the 18 elements. Yeah. You can choose to call it anything, but it's not advisable to do that. You're supposed to choose the right names for the elements so that at least if someone search your website or anything, you can locate your website.
Okay, so what's the difference between the main and then the div?
It's the same as the div. It's one of the div. The div is the standard name for the container. The div is a standard name for a container. So instead of using main, I can use div. Then I will give it a class name and use the class name instead. But now I'm giving it a main because I wanted to use the main. So when you look at what I did over here, you see I use main without any dot or without any hash or pound sign because I'm creating it myself. It's not part of the HTML elements. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say.
No.
Okay. This name that I've put in, I can make it main A, main B. Okay. It's not standard. I have invented this div thing, or yes, I have invented this div thing in my program. Okay. So it's not standard, but it's a good name because I understand. Okay, this is the main. Okay, I understand this is the main. Okay, when I see it, I know. Okay, this is the main. This is the whole body. This is the container. You understand?
Okay.
More or less, we can still change the name and make it div. Okay, and give it an ID. I don't know if you understand what I'm trying to say. And give it an ID or a class name. You can give it a class and call it something like main. Then we use the class name to do it. That means when we get to the CSS, you're supposed to put that dot over here. You understand?
Okay.
I don't know if it's making sense. If I'm making sense. So let's maintain this standard. It's a div with a class name main, or I'll make it main and use main without using the dot or pound sign if I use ID. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Okay, but the bottom line is it's a container.
It's a container, simple.
Yes. Okay.
It's a container which is going to house everything.
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah. So if you like, we can go back to the one you used, the main.
The main. It's the same
Since
thing.
You all understand it's a container.
No, we all understand, but let's use this one. Class. I think it's the same thing. Everybody, Obiachas here. It's understanding, right? That I have a container and I'm giving the container an ID of main, so that when I go to the CSS, I'll use main over there. Okay. But if I'm using main in, since main is a class, I'll make sure I put this dot thing. I think it's understanding. Okay. Right? You understand?
Yeah.
It makes sense, right?
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Okay. So let's go over there and have our main. But make sure you bring your what? You bring your what?
Please, can you go back? Let me see something.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
You've made a mistake, but nobody sees it. It's supposed to be inside the body. Forgotten. Everything's supposed to be inside the body.
Yes. Yes.
Inside the body. Okay. So we pick the class name. Let's pick the class name. And go to CSS. What should I? How do I put it? This way. it's a class, so we're supposed to bring what? The dot.
Dot.
Yeah. It makes sense, right? Okay, so let me copy all these snippet and paste it there and explain. Okay, so I'm telling the main page that give me a minimum height of 100 VH, everything. I mean, take all the screen, and I want you to blend these colors for me. I want this blue and I want this sea blue. I want you to blend them. That's why I say linear gradient. Okay, to start from right, I want you to start from right top going. So it will start from right top going with the green and end with what? This sea blue or something like that. And I said display flex. Whatever comes to this content is supposed to be a display flex. That means it will be in side by side. Okay. So why don't we launch? Let's open it. Why is my server? Okay, let me close this port first. I can get it here. It's not showing. Okay, then let's go open with live server. Okay. So let's see how. See, we have the background of what? The same gradient. You will see this side is lighter and this side is sort deeper. So that's the gradient. You understand? Okay. So that's the first part. We're able to give a color to the background of the whole screen. You understand?
Yeah.
Okay, so let's continue. Fide. Oh, Fide no off. Oh. So I said align item center. That means every item that comes to that div supposed to be in the middle. Okay. The same thing, just 5 content middle. So everything's supposed to be in the middle. You understand? Okay, so let's go back and create another div. So our next div is what? Section. Remember? With a class name of what? Class. Okay. And section is inside main, right? So section. Okay. What will be my class name? I choose glass.
Glass.
Yeah, I choose glass. Okay. So we can now pick the glass and go back to CSS, right? And down here. What do I do? Don't forget to bring your dot sign because it's a class. Okay. So when you come back to CSS and pick all these snippets, paste it there, you'll get what we want. Okay, I said give you a background of white. Then give me 80 vertical height. Give me the weight of 60. Then make it a border radius of 20 pixels. Display flex also. So whatever comes to it, I want it to be in the flex direction. Everything should be supposed to be in center. Okay. So when we go back to it, we have what we have. So give us white background. Give us what? A border radius, right, of 20 pixels. Whatever item you have supposed to be in the middle, like what we did to the other one. Whatever item comes on it supposed to be in the middle. So the same way. So give us 60% of the page width and give us 80% of the height. Understand? It makes sense, right?
Yeah, man.
Okay. Ken.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
So I want this thing. I want to explain this one too. This is another add up. That's why I give a separation. Okay. So I'm giving it another color. Okay. I'm giving it another color. Instead of that white, I want to blend the white with these colors, these two colors. Okay. And I'm giving it an opacity of 0.7. That means I'm trying to make it lighter. And when you say when you say Z index 2, it means I want it to pop up small. It should pop out small. and I'm trying to do some blending here. This one I call it drop filter blur.
I said your question you about being who do I mean Sam? Okay, question here about page size.
Which size? Wait.
The whole.
Okay, no, it's a question. Okay, my. Okay, so I can drop this one, right? So, like I was saying, is that I'm trying to give it another color. Okay, I'm blending the color. That's what I say, linear gradient. The first one, remember the linear gradient.
About those colors.
Yeah.
How do you get them? Is it a code and I say
Number? Yes, me call internet so I'm call colors are F.
Okay.
When I see color, who color be F be me pick it.
Let me suggest it will be.
Yeah.
Site be on my free more color hand.
Okay, yeah.
Who my colors na be on
yeah.
I bet me pick you from.
You can just pick them, yeah. Color hands. Yeah.
Colorhands.co.
Yeah.
Okay.
Then take this
colorhands.co.
and this is the tool that I use. Have you seen this tool? Add it to your Chrome. Colorzilla.
Colorzilla.
Yeah. So when I pick it like this and I want to steal a color, okay. Have you seen that? I just click here. This color is very nice. See, have you seen the colors? It's showing, right? You did not see. You see the colors are showing. So once you click, it picks it. Then you can add it to your program. Okay. You understand? You see it? It picks colors. Colorzilla.
Okay.
Yeah. So you can add it. It's an extension for Chrome, so you can add it to your Chrome. Understand?
Okay.
Amani, this is our question.
We are finishing. Page size, then the person who say default or default size.
The whole thing is 100%. It's not like say, oh, I'm 100% no.
Okay.
Right, so I'm so I'm 100%. First one, I'm so I'm 100%. And I'm starting creating another one, and I'm saying another one in the other 80.
Okay.
80 of the height.
I think 100 near default, and I say it will become more than 100.
No, of course, because I'll come more than 100. It be any hobby. It be any hobby. So I'm saying minimum of 100%. Asa.
Okay.
Minimum of 100%. And I'm picking we say also 80%. I say the small one, this small one, I'm picking 80.
Okay.
So the 100 is at the back and the 80 is in front.
80, okay.
Yeah. That's it. And I said, and I'm putting something here, check it out. Z index 2, meaning I want it to pop up. We're in a picture, I say I pop it up. I see the watching who say we are popping up. So I say,
okay.
And I'm blending colors no so. So I say, the emphasis say, oh, sir, my blending two colors, my back 7%, my back 3%. So let's imagine say also change we say to 3%. Then this one will go for 7. You see, everything has changed. Obviously the color has changed. Then this one will be 7. And you see it has changed. So over here, who's a higher lighter, not higher deeper.
Okay.
I don't know if you've noticed.
Yeah.
One side you're lighter, but way deeper. Okay. So I think we can maintain this one, right? Let's maintain this one like that. So, and I'm starting creating another container. You know, see the countdown container. So let's see how the countdown container is. I've seen the countdown container. I think I have H1 here, right? Let's copy the H1. I think that one is understanding, right? It's inside the section, right? That one is just a new. You understand? New Year Canada House. Any name you can choose. Makes sense.
New Year. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I have another div here. For countdown container. So that will be the container that will be housing all these elements. Okay. So it's inside the section 2. So inside the section, I have countdown container. If class name countdown, the countdown, right? Countdown underscore container. So this container, this very countdown container will be taken care of. This house down container will be taking care of this 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay.
Okay.
And that countdown container will be taking care of 1, 2, 3, 4. Understand? It will just house it. So if you can see this countdown container, see where it ends. Have you seen the closing tag of the countdown container? From up here to down here. Right? So it's taking 1, 2, 3, 4. They are all inside. You understand?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So that's it. It's taking 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so let's check first one. The first one is what the day, right? The first one is the day. I can easily copy this one, bring it here. But the first one is the day, and I've given it a class of day container. Okay. Giving it a class of day container, and I have another class. I'll give you the reason why I've given another class to extra. You can give multiple classes because maybe I want to style this one different. I want to give this one a different color, and I want to give the seconds a different color. I want to give the day a different color. You understand? So you can give it extra class name so that whatever styles you give to day container will be different from the style that will be given to the minute container. You understand? But I'm using this countdown element so that I can do one style for all of them. I think you understand when I started doing the styling for the first one and the second one.
Yeah.
Okay. So this one represents this one. The day represent only this. You understand? That's the container for only this.
That's for the day.
For the day. That's the container for the day. Okay. So we can have another container for what? The hour. Okay. Let's pick this container for hour. Have you seen it? So we now have another container for hour.
Okay.
Okay. So let's go and check it out. So you have the day and have the hour. Okay. Okay. And we have another container for what? Minute.
Minutes.
Okay. And we have the last container for the seconds. Second. So let's check it. So you have the day, hour, minute, and second. So it's now up to us to style them. Okay. To make for them to look good. It's up to us to style them for them to look good. So let's go and check. Have we seen one word? Display flex. Simple. One word. Display flex. Okay. It will put everything in a column. So we will see it in action. So when I say display flex, don't forget the class name. The class name. Check the class name. Is it container element? Countdown container, yeah. That's the countdown container. The container which is housing all of them. Countdown container, remember this one. You understand? Hello? Hello? You understand this container is housing all these elements. The hour, the minute, and the seconds. This container. You understand?
Okay.
So when you say display flex, I'm saying we are multi-core. Okay. So when you say display flex on that container, this is the results. It puts everything in what? In line.
Which one?
When you You know this container, this countdown container is housing all the div that we created, right? So when you say display flex on that div, it puts everything, okay, in one line. You understand? So we can just comment it for you to see how it is. You see how it is? And when you take the comment out,
Okay.
brings everything in one line for you.
Okay. Display flex.
Yeah. So whatever container that we have inside that container will be flexed. It will be in a flex direction. It will display flex. Okay. Okay, can we continue?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So we're servicing the H1, we are targeting the H1 too. And when we check H1, when you say H1, that will be this one. Yes, sir. The heading. Yes, sir. The heading is the H1. So let's quickly target the H1. The H1. We put it down there. So we want the H1 to have a weight, font weight. I think I can display this way. So let's take off this one and see what will happen. You see it. We want it to have a font weight of normal because it's too big. So we want to make it normal. Okay. So when you make it normal, you see it's become lighter.
Yeah.
Okay, let's take the font size out. You see the font size too. We wanted to increase the font size. So we make it 4 rem. 4 rem is another unit. We can use pixels. That would be 40 pixels, right? Let's confirm. Oh, 40 pixels. Let's confirm. That's right. The same, we can use rem. That's something. So this is 40 pixels. Or 4 rem. It's another unit. 4 rem.
Okay.
So it's the same. Okay, this one is even higher. Understand?
Yeah.
And we said margin top 10%,
Yes.
10 pixels. Okay.
Level sheet now, yeah, one. Style sheet now.
And star sheet in a way.
Okay.
Star sheet in a way, you're targeting header. The header is H1. Okay. And you see, I did not bring any dots because I'm just using the same element. It's not a class, it's just the same element, H1. So wherever we have H1, these styles will affect that thing. If you have another H1, it will affect it. So it's very good to use classes when you have multiple elements. Because I know I have only one H1. I know I have only one H1 in the whole program. So if I tell CSS, take H1 and give this font size and these margins and all these font weight, it goes to that element straight. But if I have multiple elements with the same name, of course, whatever styles I provide will affect all of them. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Okay.
Am I making sense? So let's do one. Let's add another element with the same H1. You see, this one has H1. Okay. And you see the styles has affected it, right? It has the same style, everything. Okay. Let me change it to 1. I mean 2, H2. See, it will be different from the H1. You see it?
Okay.
Yeah. I think we can continue, right? Can we continue?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
Missing in action.
Waira.
Missing in action.
Okay. You didn't find Waira, no?
Okay.
Ode, ko, Nama video.
David, Yanko. You know, if Waira, no?
Me missing in action. It's our class now. That's your me.
Okay.
When you say your star, say that can't guy.
Who's that me 5 minutes be?
Yeah. Okay, sure. Okay, sure. Okay, fine. Yeah, but yes, here. Who's that classes now? I say, what class name, Nana?
Oh, class now they share class equals.
Okay. The class is the same as the ID. Remember the ID that you use in styling. So you can use the ID and do the styling, right? That one, you are aware of that one. You can use the ID.
Instead of class, you can put ID there.
Exactly. Take it like that. You can use class or you can use ID. It's the same thing.
Okay.
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 I think you are done. Okay. So we can continue, right?
Yes.
Okay. So our next stage, have you seen another class, or let's say another ID? In today's terms, is ID. Have you seen it? I said big text. Okay. And the big text is taking care of the P tag. You understand? So whatever styling I provide to the big text will affect this number over here, right?
Okay.
You understand?
Yeah.
Okay. So that's the class name, big text. I just choose big text. Okay, so we can copy that one to our CSS. Okay, and let's see what happens. All the elements with the big text class will change, because I said give me a font weight bold, font size of 6 rem, give me a line height, okay, line height of 2, and margin 0, top and left 2 rem. Okay, you understand? So it affects all of them with the same class name, big text. So let's check the elements. This one has a big text, this one has a big text, this one has a big text, and this one has a big text. So it will affect all of them. You understand? What's it? Yeah. So the class will affect everything. That's why I'm using big text. So because I don't want to style this one separate and style this one separate and style this one separate. No. It will be a lot of work since they are all taking the same properties of they are all taking the same property of bold in font size of 6, and the line height of 2, then a margin of 0 and 2 rem. I can just give it to one. I can give them one class, all of them. I can give them one class, and the styling will take effect. I think it makes sense. So I think we can tackle this guy. These guys are way off.
Yeah.
Supposed to be here, supposed to be here, supposed to be here.
Yes.
So shift all of them to that direction. Yes, sir. So let's see. That one is what countdown element. So when you check over here, you see these countdown elements.
Yes.
This is where the action comes. I told you that I'm using a second class. So when I say countdown element, text center, that means every text on this div, okay, will be in the middle. Understand? Every text will be in the middle. So countdown element, text align center. Okay, so we can align all the text in center first. Okay, so let's see how it will be. See, they are all in the center. Quick. Every text on that element will be in the center. So this one will position itself center. This one will position itself center. This one will position itself center. This one will position, because I said what? Every element on this div. Okay, that's why I said countdown element, countdown element, countdown element, and countdown element. So P tag is an element, spine is an element. So when you said every element is supposed to be in the middle, it will affect the P tag will be in the middle, the spine too will be in the middle. That's all. Understand?
Yeah, man.
Okay. So
Hello,
I think we
question.
Yeah.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Okay, so within the P tag, we can instead of ID, we can put instead of the class, let's put ID. What will happen?
It will work.
It will work.
Yeah.
Okay. That's all I want to know.
Okay. So have you seen what I've done here? Countdown element, then I'm tackling what? The spine. So let's go back to this. You see, we have a countdown element here. And inside the countdown element, I have what we call span. The span, remember? So we have two elements. One is P tag and one is what? Span. So I wanted to target the span. I want to increase the font size of the spine. That's all. Understand? So I said class name of this. Inside the class name, there's another element called spine. And I want that font size to be what, 1.2 rem. That's all. So I'm trying to increase the font size of that spine. That's all. You understand? So the font size will increase. The font size of this hour, day, minute, seconds will increase. So let's off it and see. You see, it has gone down. And when you bring it back, it increase. It increase in size. Did you see that? Yeah. So I think we are done with the design.
Yes.
We are done with the design.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wait, that's what I'm saying for the first one.
First one. Oh, okay. When the end
I think so far they won Java and Beam and a Java Beam.
Java. I think you did logic in the Baba.
Okay.
So the whole thing.
You wear ATM on
CSS. Yeah, ATM and CSS. The design anyway. Yeah.
So you say you have see an end to us. Okay. Another day. End to us maybe I see.
Okay, that means a Java.
Yes.
The Java on the next day. And now Obi now.
Yes, I agree with him.
Okay. That means you go and practice them. I think yes. It will be the best.
Okay, but let me share code no.
Very good, yeah.
Let me share code no.
Okay, make my share code no, yeah. You mean send the code no to the group, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll send the CSS and I'll send the HTML. Okay. So that you can play around it. Okay. You can just play around them. You can change your colors. You can make your colors different.
Yes.
But make sure if you're changing your colors, make sure this thing is visible. This one will be visible. So the main one and then the glass one. That's all. We have two elements. The back one, which is the main, and this one, which is the glass ID. I'm talking about the ID, so main and then glass. Then the rest will be H1. Then you have your div for your day, div for your hour, div for your minute, div for your seconds. Then you spine them if you want to put name underneath. Just spine them. You put them in a spine. You put them in a spine like that. So you know it's not much. You can even see everything from here. Your glass container. Then you have your countdown container, which is housing every element. Then you have your day, you have your hour, you have your minute, you have your seconds. Okay, and all of them has a class, equal class of this element. Okay. Yes.
Wait, maybe or no matter we are countdown one. Yes, a sky blue, a sea blue.
Yeah.
Container, they will need it.
Now back one, Anna.
Yeah.
Back one, I mean you should main.
That was the main.
Yeah, I use the class name main, right?
That's the.
This is it. The div with the class name main. So when you come to styling, you choose main.
And now
at the top. Choose main at the top.
Light one as well.
That's the that top nana.
Yep.
Okay, that's the glass. This is the glass.
The glass. Okay.
Yeah, glass. So main and the glass. Inside the glass we have the H1. Okay, after the H1 we have another div that house all of them so that I can at least put them in flex direction. That's why I put all of the elements inside another div so that when I go to countdown container, I can flex them. So you see countdown container, I can flex them. Once you flex them, everything will be in the line. Then from them, you take it from there.
Okay.
Yes, sir. You have any question? Okay.
Yeah.
Ada stars na ada ni mu ana.
Oh, David.
It's understanding.
I'm back to normal.
Okay, nice one. It's a matter of practicing. So I always say, me new me three more. Me try, we find my try. Sizes no. Say who design again, no. So what change style be okay? Oh, it's no do. I mean so. Oh, it's I'm increasing no. I don't know. So what the person here? Into my tissue, my increasing. But when you correct one, I open. That's all. Anyway, be
All right.
I'm calling the night, oh. Yo.
Yes.
I'm calling the night.
Ayo.
Man, teacher didn't come. Oh, hold here.
Wada.
Okay.
Mr. Money.
Wada.
Ken.
Yes,
I start. I say moo.
All right. It was when I'm watching.
Yo.
Okay.
Good night. Good night,
right,
everyone.
Okay.
Okay.
Anyway.
What's your name?
Let me be a part of this. I'm trying.
Okay, bro. And then share my ship, please. No.
I'll stand by you.
Or stand by you. Over try. Share my share no. All right. It's your call. All right.